While the Galaxy class was seen as Starfleet's ultimate exploration starship, a quicker and smarter design would be needed. Something was also half the size of the mighty Starship design. As such, Starfleet would introduce the Intrepid-class Starship design in the latter half of the 24th century. While we may all be familiar with the adventures of the Intrepid-class USS Voyager, there are a handful of other Intrepid-class starships in service to Starfleet and the United Federation of Planets. Today, we'll be looking into every Intrepid-class starship in Star Trek. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host, Captain Jack. If you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore, and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Star Trek universe. We're enjoying making these Star Trek videos on various topics, and we hope you are too. If you want to support their development, please join our Patreon via the link below. You'll get exclusive access to videos and events, as well as more Galaxy class rewards. As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Oh, and also, what would you name an Intrepid-class starship if you were commanding one? And like always, if you are talking about Star Trek, we want to hear about it. Okay, engage. This video is sponsored by Heroes of History. If you've ever wanted to build and evolve your own civilization through combat, research, and strategy, this is the game for you. You'll be able to collect rare heroes and create powerful battle lineups. The best thing? You can engage in both cooperative and competitive gameplay. Now this is a stress-free strategy at its best. No one is raiding your city while you're offline, meaning this is a game that respects your time. Heroes of History is perfect for someone like me who prefers to play on their own terms. Now I know many of you love to build your own civilization. You can now do this. You can build up the city of your dreams. Heroes of History is easy to start, allowing you to jump in quickly and master the strategy by unlocking legendary icons from history, such as Cleopatra, Hercules, and Robin Hood. And that's a dream team. We've teamed up with Heroes of History to offer you some extra bonus items when you join the game. Use the promo code 1YearStart, on screen now, to get one legendary antimatter, plus a pack of food and also scrolls for free. Sounds good, right? Be honest, are your strategy skills sharp enough? Prove it. Check out Heroes of History today by downloading the game using our link or QR code on screen and claim your prize today. Will I be seeing you in game? Maybe you'll be battling my city soon. Anyway, thank you to Heroes of History for sponsoring this video. The class prototype of the Intrepid class was the USS Intrepid. We don't actually see this on screen, as in seeing the actual starship, but it is mentioned in the movie of Star Trek Nemesis. The USS Intrepid was deployed in Starfleet Battlegroup Omega in 2379, which was dispatched to Sector 1045 to counter the Riemann threat. The group never saw action, as the USS Enterprise-E destroyed the Scimitar in the Battle of the Basin Rift. According to the Star Trek Starship Spotter, the USS Intrepid and the USS Voyager were the first two Intrepid-class starships to be constructed at Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards in 2370 and early 2371. The vessel's chief engineer, Commander Donald Kaplan, regularly engaged in power conversion efficiency contests with George LaForge of the USS Enterprise-D. The extended Star Trek canon informs us that construction of the class prototype began at Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards in the 2360s. As we know from Voyager, the Intrepid class was the first to be equipped with the new binaural circuitry. This was designed to replace isolinear chips and speed up computer response time. The Intrepid was also equipped with a variable geometry warp nacelles. The next generation novel, Blaze of Glory, informs us that the USS Intrepid was active in the 2370s and assisted the USS Enterprise-D and the USS Serapis to drive out the Romulans from an area of space. In 2371, the Intrepid's commanding officer was Captain Terence Riley. The USS Intrepid was dispatched to intercept the stolen museum ship, USS Yorktown. In reality, Captain Montgomery Scott was the one who had stolen the starship. He was on a personal mission to rescue Ambassador Spock from the Romulans. Captain Riley and the Intrepid caught up, but after a brief discussion, allowed Scotty and the Yorktown to continue along with their mission. By 2401, the Intrepid was likely out of service, as it had been succeeded by the USS Intrepid, NCC 79520. An Intrepid class known as the USS Bellerophon was active in 2375, and was under the command of Admiral William Ross. During the Dominion War, the Admiral used the vessel to transport himself and Federation delegates to Romulus for a conference on issues with the Dominion War. We only see the Bellerophon in one episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. However, Star Trek's extended media tells us of more adventures with the starship. The Bellerophon was dispatched to Deep Space Nine in 2371 to assist Benjamin Sisko and his crew. Later that year, the vessel was one of 3 starships assigned to the 20th Fleet based at Starbase 364. The vessel would also patrol the Shackleton Expanse. In 2372, the USS Bellerophon transported Admiral William Ross to Starbase 375 so he could take command, following the death of Admiral Eric Hahn. In December 2377, the Bellerophon and USS Mjolnir responded to a distress call from Deep Space Nine. In 2380, Admiral Ross considered dispatching Bellerophon to the Romulan border due to heightened political actions. In an alternate timeline where the Cardassian Union did not withdraw from Bajor in 2369, the USS Bellerophon would accompany her sister ships, the USS Voyager and USS Intrepid, to Dorvan 5 in 2373. The three Intrepid-class starships were ambushed by Cardassian Gallo-class destroyers. These had been armed with phased Polaron beam weapons. During the attack, the Bellerophon was the only vessel to escape, yet its computer core was too damaged to retain information about the new Cardassian weapons. In Star Trek Lower Decks, the Intrepid-class USS Endeavor appears from a parallel universe in the late 24th century. In 2382, the USS Endeavor was under the command of Captain Tercel when it was pulled through a quantum fissure into the Prime Universe. Due to the Prime Universe having a much larger scale than their native one, the Endeavor was actually the size of an amoeba. Stranded, the Endeavor crew endured a month of hell as they attempted to gather energy and materials to construct a dimensional gate, which manifested to observers as a destructive nanite cluster. Thankfully, the crew of the USS Cerritos worked together to neutralize the nanite clusters and successfully make contact with the Endeavor. In 2379, a vessel known as the USS Valiant was an Intrepid-class starship. The Valiant was assigned to Starfleet Battlegroup Omega. The Valiant and Battlegroup Omega were redirected to Sector 1045 to rendezvous with the USS Enterprise-E, which was being pursued by the Scimitar. Unfortunately, the Enterprise ended up engaging the Scimitar by itself. As such, the Valiant never saw action against the warship. While not seen on screen, Star Trek the Encyclopedia, 4th edition Volume 2, classified the Valiant as an Intrepid-class starship. Of course, we all know the story of the Intrepid-class USS Voyager, therefore I won't spend a large portion of this video going over that. We have previously done dedicated breakdowns of Voyager and the specifications of the Intrepid-class here on the Trek Century YouTube channel. Constructed at Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards, which orbited Mars, Voyager was then officially launched from Earth Station McKinley in 2371. Voyager was one of the first Intrepid-class vessels constructed and came with tons of technological innovations, such as binaural circuitry, variable geometry warp nacelles, and of course, the emergency medical hologram.
Initiate emergency medical holographic program.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
Captain Catherine Jeremy would be assigned to command the new starship. Voyager would go on to be stranded in the Delta Quadrant, 70,000 light-years away from Earth. With several crew members dead during the transit, Voyager would make an unlikely alliance with Chakotay's Maquis crew. After 7 years navigating the Delta Quadrant, run-ins with hostile species such as Species 8472, the Borg, and many more, Voyager eventually returned home. Following its return, the Intrepid-class USS Voyager was decommissioned and taken to be refit into a museum ship. By 2401, Voyager was located at the Fleet Museum at Anthem Prime. The legacy of the Intrepid-class USS Voyager would last well beyond the 30th century. Our next set of Intrepid-class starships only exist in the extended canon of the Star Trek universe. This includes items such as video games, books, comics, short stories, and more. Don't worry, we'll tell you where these ships we mentioned do appear. The video game of Star Trek Starfleet Command 3 would include several Intrepid-class starships. The in-game software would randomly select names for vessels. As such, no specific history or fate is actually established for the following starships. The USS Barb, USS Dolphin, USS Haddock, USS Halibut, Mako, Permit, Plunger, Scorpion, and Thresher were all named automatically by the video game software. In 2379, the USS Mercutio appears in Starfleet Command 3. This Intrepid class is under the command of Captain Kaufman. The starship went rogue after being attacked by other Federation starships. The Mercutio eventually stood down after the CEOs of other vessels she was attacking were able to talk reason to the captain. As was the case with Star Trek Starfleet Command 3, the Star Trek Armada games included Intrepid-class starships that had randomly assigned names. Again, we don't know the specific fate or the details of these ships, but here are the names anyway. The USS Christoffel, USS Evans, Garrison, Hawkins, Henderson, Johnson, Jones, Bussey, Blakey, Mingus, Monk, Oliver, Parker, Rosenberg, Scorpion, Shorter, Teagarden, Tyner, and Wildcard were all names selected randomly for the Intrepid-class cruiser vessel by the video game software. Around the year of 2377, the Intrepid-class USS Armstrong was in service to Starfleet. It was at Starbase 176 on stardate 54566.1 when the Borg invaded the area of space. Unfortunately, the Armstrong was left derelict as its crew were either killed or assimilated by the Borg. Later, a Starfleet task force, led by the USS Enterprise-E, recovered the Armstrong and the other abandoned vessels. When the Borg later returned, the rebuilt fleet defeated them. This is from the Armada 2 mission, Recovery. Later on, the Armstrong would be a part of a joint Federation Borg Armada crossing into fluidic space to destroy the Riftmaker and end Species 8472's incursions into the Alpha and Delta quadrants. The Armstrong survived this mission and returned to normal space. The USS Dervish and USS Discipline appear in the game and were part of a task force led by the USS Enterprise-E to System J356 to render aid to the Third Fleet, which the Borg Collective had decimated. No fate is given for these ships as the game's software assigned the names. The Intrepid class under the name of the USS Carr would be in service by 2377. It also joined the likes of the Armstrong in the joint Federation Borg mission to fluidic space. Along with the rest of the Armada, the Carr completed the mission and returned safely to normal space. The USS Toussaint was an Intrepid class active in 2377. This vessel was succeeded in name by the Inquiry class USS Toussaint in 2399, as seen in Star Trek Picard. In Star Trek Online, the MMO video game, several Intrepid-class vessels appear in various missions. One of these, the USS Bacchus, was part of the Allied forces attempting to occupy the Solani Dyson Sphere. The Bacchus was later deployed to disable the Voth Fortress ship. The USS Intrepid-A appears in Star Trek Online. The Intrepid-A was launched to replace the lost class prototype, the USS Intrepid, which was presumed destroyed. Around the year of 2410, the Intrepid-A represented the Intrepid class in the Starfleet Shipyard's operation interface. Later that year, the original Intrepid returned. The fleet-rated refit of the Intrepid class, LRSV, was represented by the USS Intrepid, NCC 74600-B. The video game of Star Trek Legacy featured both the USS Jefferson and USS Odyssey as Intrepid-class starships. Like other games, these ship names are auto-generated by the video game software in the game. As such, no specific history or fate was ever given for these ships. The USS Blackthorn was an Intrepid-class ship in service during the 2370s. Around 2374, it was under the command of Captain Pentis. The ship and her commanding officer would later invent the Pentis maneuver. During the Dominion War, the Blackthorn engaged a Dominion battlecruiser, successfully defeating the vessel. The ship appears in the Decipher RPG module, Starships. We know the USS Gallant was an Intrepid-class starship. In the year of 2375, the Gallant ferried Federation diplomats to Cardassia Prime after the end of the Dominion War. This was to accept their surrender formally. The USS Lincoln was in service during the 2370s and was under the command of Captain Vince Newport. In 2376, this Intrepid-class starship was escorting the two independent freighters, the Vulpecula and Arch Merchant, near the Cardassian border. The three vessels encountered the mysterious space object, Enigma. Due to the holographic illusions created by the Quantra, the crew of the Lincoln believed they had emerged from the Enigma and continued on with their mission. Captain Newport became increasingly paranoid and eventually believed his crew were plotting a mutiny against him. Thankfully, Lieutenant Commander Sonia Gomez and an away team from the USS Da Vinci later arrived and resolved the situation. This is told through the SCE book, Enigma Ship. The USS Nelson, an Intrepid class, was under the command of Captain David L. Evans II in 2373. As the Decipher RPG Starships module tells us, the vessel successfully overcame an Iconian computer virus near the planet Caldwell 4. The vessel also took part in the Battle of Cardassia, flying in formation with the USS Farragut in 2375. An Intrepid class under the name of USS Pathfinder was one of the original Intrepid class vessels to be launched. In the year of 2373, the Pathfinder joined a Starfleet task force sent to the Gamma Quadrant. This was in reprisal for the preemptive strike against Deep Space Nine by the Dominion. The Pathfinder would follow the USS Enterprise-E alongside the USS Congo and another Intrepid class, the USS Stargazer-A. Unfortunately, the Pathfinder was destroyed by Jem'Hadar starships. A new Intrepid class, under the name of USS Pathfinder-A, was launched to succeed the earlier destroyed vessel. In 2375, the starship was placed under the command of Captain Christine MacDonald. Its shakedown cruise marked the first visit of a Starfleet ship to the sovereign planet of Vulcan in many years. The Pathfinder-A plays a role in the Star Trek novel Preserver, where it does end up being crippled and destroyed. The USS Sagan was an Intrepid-class starship that appeared in the Star Trek video game Trexels. It would later appear in the Starfleet Academy comic Renegades. Later that year, Forsaken was patrolling the Romulan neutral zone on a discreet mission to wait for Cadet Nog and the Omega Squad on a secret assignment in Romulan space. Forsaken detected a Romulan vessel pursuing a Lenora-class scout across the border. In the 2370s, Starfleet was operating the Intrepid-class USS Sally Ride. This vessel is seen in the Star Trek Adventures module, the Sciences Division. The Starship would remain active into the 24th century. Captain Talan was commanding the vessel, as seen in Star Trek Online. Finally, we have the USS Zealous. This Intrepid class was active in the 2370s, and is from the Decipher RPG module, Starships. The vessel was actually critically damaged following a surprise attack from a Jem'Hadar in 2374. So that is every Intrepid-class starship in the Star Trek universe, for now. What would you name one of these starships if you were to command one? Make sure to comment that down below. Don't forget to tell us what you think of these ships as well. If you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. A big thank you to everyone who has supported us on Patreon. Your support allows us to continue making these Galaxy class videos. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends. Goodbye.